Hi, in this session I'm going to show you how to use the XNPV function. Now the XNPV function is similar in concept to the NPV function, where you may be trying to estimate the present value of a particular project and seeing if the cash flows over the future years, whether that project is a good fit. So in terms of whether it is a good fit, if the NPV or XNPV is greater than 0, it's probably a good investment. If it's less than 0, it's probably not a good investment. And if it equals 0, it'll probably be a break-even investment. Now with the NPV, it assumes that the cash flow occurs on a regular basis with equal intervals. That is not assumed with the XNPV. It actually assumes that the cash flows are not made on a regular basis. So usually with NPV, it assumes that the cash flows are made on a yearly basis, maybe year 1, year 2, year 3. Now with XNPV, there could be 2 payments made in the first year, 1 payment made in the second year, no payments made in the third year, so it varies. Also, the XNPV function assumes that the cash flows are made at the beginning of the period, and it also assumes a 365-year calculation. So what I mean is, when we go into the particular formula that's used to calculate XNPV, you have here are D1, DI, and D1, which represents the last date and kind of like the first date of the payment. So you would have to subtract that out and divide over 365 to get the exponential of the rate, 1 plus the rate. So that's where the 365 comes into play. So in the event of leap years, that estimation will be a little bit off, but in essence, NPV, XNPV are estimations in themselves, so you have to keep that in mind. So to create the function for here, what we're assuming now is there's various dates, and of course there's various payments. But for those various dates, that becomes part of the formula or the function. So to get right into how to use the function, let's just do that. So we can just type XNPV tab to have that open parentheses. Our rate, that is 5%. You can, if you already had the rate in there, you can just click on it, or in our case 5%, we can have to put we could have put 0.05. So after that we can put comma, and then after that we have to put the values. So these are our values here. Now you'll notice that in the XNPV function, the first value usually, in most cases, is the cash flow, the initial investment. With NPV, you had to put that, you had to not include that in the values, and you have to add it in separately or subtract it in separately. And I showed that in the previous video I had for NPV. But with the XNPV function, that initial cash outflow, the money that we're using for the investment, in most cases, that gets included as part of the function. And so I think the folks over at Microsoft had understood that it's probably better to put that in part of the function rather than have people add it in or subtract it later on outside of the function. So that's a little bit of change for XNPV versus the NPV function. So in that case, after we enter the values, then we have to enter the date. So the dates are here. And once I click that, close parentheses, press enter, and we have our XNPV. So in this case, the value is greater than 0, so this is a good investment to pursue. So there's how you use the XNPV function. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.